So the last attack from the side is going to be the headlock. Now the headlock is also one of the first situations with grabs where there's most likely going to be somebody actively hitting you and striking you. What I mean by that is if someone's throwing you in this like old school headlock, one, they're probably going to be ripping your head around, squeezing on you. There's not really a choke from here, right? I can sit here and squeeze. It's uncomfortable, it sucks, but I'm not putting you to sleep by it. I could also try and hip toss you. However, Cash is in a pretty good position from here to kind of defend a hip toss takedown if you know what you're doing. But the big thing that you have to pay attention to is a lot of guys are gonna kind of get into this position and then just start kind of wailing on your face with punches, palms, grabbing your hair, whatever they need to do, right? Whereas like these other positions, if we're talking like these bear grabs here, or even like side grabs here per se, like I'm not necessarily going to hit you out of the gate. I know we talked about this one where I would have to turn you first, right? But from like a bear grab, if I was going to hit you again, I have to let go. But the headlock is one of the only ones where they can not only control your head, but also hit it at the same time. So if we're talking headlock, let's go just for my comfort level, yeah. If we're going in this position, first things first, anytime somebody gets any grip around your head, I wanna start kind of hand fighting. Now again, there's stages to self-defense. If I feel like this hand is coming over and I'm able to kind of hand fight this right away, I can pop my head out and get behind the person and I can just avoid the situation altogether. But that just comes with me being aware. Maybe we're kind of in this situation and he just kind of clears that arm and throws his head around, like I might be able to defend this right away, clear that, and we break free. If not, and he hunkers down, or if he was behind me and he just comes up and throws me in the headlock, right? I may not have that time to react. So first things first, I want to get hands on. I want to start kind of hand fighting a little bit. If he's not doing anything, and let's say he's just kind of hunkering down, I'm going to take this outside arm. I'm going to grab his hip as tight as I can, or his side, just whatever I can get. I'm going to take this hand again. He's going to be squeezing. It's going to be uncomfortable, but I'm going to scoop deep. Now, because my weight is already kind of shifted, I have the ability to kind of load up already. So let go for a second. I'm already kind of in like this squat deadlift position to where I can come up a little bit and explode essentially. So when he's got me in this headlock, right, I'm gonna grab his hip, I'm gonna scoop under his leg, I'm gonna load up a little bit more, and all I'm gonna do is pick him up and just slam him right down to the ground. It's not gonna be one where like, I'm picking him up through the roof and throwing him down. It's just getting him off a little bit, slamming him down, understand that you are gonna be going to the ground. Obviously from there, you're gonna have to be able to get out and get back to your feet. So you do have to understand how to, anytime I guess you're gonna take somebody down to the ground, you better know what to do once you get down there. So one more time, just kind of from a different angle. He's just holding on, he's squeezing. I'm gonna grab, I'll scoot back just a little bit. I'm gonna grab the hip, I'm gonna scoot up under the knee, under the thigh. I'm gonna load him up, bring him straight down, posture up. And again, we work back to our feet and we get out of there. Now, as we talked about, the other option is that he's gonna be squeezing me with his hand and this hand is going to start kind of punching. Now it is normal when we teach this initially that we'll see people kind of doing this, right? And they're just kind of protecting their face, trying to do what they can. This isn't gonna do much. Even if my hand's here, he can go right through that and start punching me. And again, as long as one punch lands, it's gonna be difficult. So this hand's job is to focus on controlling here. What I want to do is actually tuck my head. So if he's really hunkering me down, I want to put my face down so that if he is punching me, he's punching the top of my head. Now, yes, this can still hurt me. However, this is the strongest part of the skull. So he's actually going to be doing more damage to his hand than he's actually going to be doing if I keep my face up like this, right? So initially, I'm going to hunker my face down. My outside hand is going to look to just try and catch it. Now, here's the beauty. When he's throwing these punches, look at his elbow. It's going to start chaining back every time he lowers that punch. He's not just going to keep his hand here and just kind of do like little scissor punches or sewing machine punches, right? That hand's coming all the way back. So all I have to do is try and catch it and just stick this hand out. And the more that I'm able to do this, because I know he's going to keep this elbow back here, he's not going to be punching with his elbow like this, right? So the more that I'm able to kind of catch it, eventually once I get my hand in there, I'm going to lock it around the forearm and I'm pulling it to his side as tight as I can. At this point, one option I have is letting go of this near side hand, coming all the way across and grabbing the other arm as well. I'm going to suck everything together. I'm going to square up to him perpendicular. I'm going to start posturing my head. Even if he's still holding on to this tight, I'm going to suck this in tight and start posturing and just walking into him. Now, this is going to be a struggle with your neck, right? I'm going to have to posture this head up high and fight that resistance. But as I pressure in here and I start posturing, I'm able to essentially body lock him. And it's going to be very uncomfortable. Now, again, we have the takedown options from here. I can pull up and pull down. I can take him all the way down to the ground backwards if I need to. I can pressure in and take him down forwards if I want to. I can also pop my head out and come around the back, which is a great option because not only do I have the ability to take him down, but again, if we're talking distance, I clear him and I work that space and we, again, get out of that situation altogether. The other thing that we have when he's throwing these punches, right? Again, I catch this arm. I'm now going to, again, just kind of square up to them a little bit, posture that head, Only this time, I'm gonna take this hand and just start kind of working damage. I can work and throw some strikes up here, but because I have this arm trapped, he can't protect himself. And the only way that he can really do anything is to clear this hand over my head, and now he actually wants to square up to me, or he's gonna give me his back, one or the other, but he's gonna try and get out of the situation. So as his hand's here, as long as I can keep this arm trapped, which again, if I can get this good split seatbelt grip and pull it back, I can strike the groin, I can strike the stomach. And again, the moment he gives me his back, I clear him and get out of there, or the moment he squares up to me, again, maybe throwing a teep, and either way, I'm looking to create that space. So one more time all together. If I'm able to fight the grips right away, I pop out the back and we're good to go. If he's just kind of locking me down, again, we grab the hip, we scoop the leg, we pick him up, and we dump him. If he starts throwing those punches, again, I'm tucking my head, protecting my face. I'm gonna trap this arm. I'm gonna secure it with my other hand, square up to him, posture, secure that body lock, and then we can take him to the ground from there, or again, we pop out the back and we create the space. Last but not least, similar idea, we square up to them, only this time I'm just kind of working hammer fist, working punches. Again, either he's gonna give me his back, at that point I make the space, or he's gonna square up to me. Again, we make the space and we get out of there. Now, as we've mentioned at the beginning, any of these grabs from the side grabs, the chokes, the bear grabs, we talked about how for this entire chapter, our focus is trying to square up to them because this is gonna give me the best options to throw in strikes, to start creating the space, to do the damage I need to do, but also I can see what's going on. Again, I don't ever wanna expose my back. We don't always have that option. Or we don't always realize what we're doing, and again, he grabs me and I start defending, it's not working, and I just naturally start kind of turning and exposing my back. And now at this point, we're dealing with grabs from behind, which could turn into bear grabs. Maybe he switches it to a choke. If I had hair, he'd maybe grab and pull my hair back a little bit, so it leads into other options, which is going to lead us into chapter 4, which is grabs from behind.